Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a superhero science fiction film, How I Became a Superhero. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. This movie talks about inequality and substance abuse. Inequality in the sense that some people are born with superpowers, and some are born without. Advertisements in this world show manufacturers packaging their products to their power-hungry consumers, promising to give them superhuman abilities, but these are obviously scams. People born without superpowers simply cannot possess superhuman abilities until somebody fabricates a drug that legitimately provides the user with superpowers. This drug began circulating in schools. Teenagers who played with this substance started to use it to cause trouble all over the town. When the officials began to investigate, the circulating drug was linked to a missing superhuman. The movie dramatically reflects the inequality of our reality. People want to level out the disparity that we are born with, which pushes us to do inhumane things to have an advantage over others. Below is the story in detail. A mysterious superhero named Eclipso walks out on what seems to be his show. He walks into a dark alley and is injected with a sedative by a mysterious man. Then he wakes up in a mysterious laboratory and he is lying down with a glowing corpse. Moro appears to be a lonely man with a house full of clutter, random objects everywhere, and unorganized things. He is waking up to a television that was left on overnight. Moro picks up a call asking him if he is on his way to work. He lies and says he is already driving, but in reality, he is eating cereal and he seems not to mind his cat eating from the same bowl. On his way to work, he wears his police tag on his arm. There are superhumans everywhere, and they are using their powers to move things around. Moro arrives at the crime scene, and his colleague informs him, judging from the burned items all over the place, that this might be a case of arson. He was rude to her and the other staff. After realizing that he could not do much at the crime scene, he goes to the police station. His boss is furious and says that his records have been dropping over the past years, highlighting that he is basically useless. To make up for it, he is partnered up by his boss with Schautzman, the colleague he met earlier at the arson crime scene. His boss describes Schautzman as a valedictorian from the police academy and not one to be messed with. Their first case together is a school hostage situation. A student with flame powers is seen terrorizing the school. We could see another girl with electric abilities hiding in a cubicle in distress. She looks like she is hiding her powers for her safety. Another student sees this girl hiding. Moro, Schautzman, and their team go to the school, and while they are planning, Moro rushes to the kid with flame powers and quickly neutralizes the situation. The other staff rush to handcuff the kid. They suspect that he was also the one who burned the earlier crime scene. They also found a suspicious glow stick-like item on the school campus, which the students are calling a flamethrower, with a note telling them to burn them all. A sketchy teenager is selling this same item outside of the school. A lot of kids are buying it from him and sniffing the substance inside. As they inhale, their nasal cavities immediately glow up and possess flame powers after. The kids are playing with flames and burning random things. Moro visits his friend Monte Carlo, a retired superhero who was a member of the Pack Royal and used to work with Moro. Moro helps him clean up his dishes and his laundry, then he lazily microwaves his food. While eating, Moro asks him if he could find out somebody by their superpowers. Monte Carlo swiftly goes to his Rolodex and looks for superhumans with powers relating to fire. He then finds Brazzero's file, 42 years old, in and out of prison, corrupt, and has a record of him beating up his wife. He has no kids. Moro quickly gets his jacket and proceeds to leave. Monte Carlo insists on opening the door by using his speed power, but he is not in control of it. He crashes into his coat hanger. Moro asks if he is taking his maintenance medication, and he says that the medicine is irrelevant. On the other side of the story, we could see a man walking in an abandoned building. He starts asking the scary-looking bouncer for Naja. The bouncer tries to threaten him, but he says he has something important for his boss. The bouncer goes to Naja, and he allows the man to proceed to the room. Naja is offended by the gesture and screams at the man, but he says he has news for him. Crimes relating to fire are now rampant. The police are heightening their alert. The forensics is failing to find the source of the substance that the teenagers were using. The policemen gather up to brainstorm, and Moro starts to talk about Brazzero. Their boss immediately tells them to investigate Brazzero and search for every detail about him. Schautzman is mad at Moro for not sharing this information. She reminds him that she is still his partner and must share information. Moro then received a call from Monte Carlo about Brazzero that when he got out of rehab a few years ago, Brazzero was helped by Callista. Callista is a basketball coach and was also a member of the Pack Royal. She has superpowers involving visions. In a vision, she saw one of her players being beaten up, and she immediately confronted the student to help him. Moro walks up into the basketball court and starts asking Callista about Brazzero. Callista admits that she helped him ages ago, but she refuses to help with the investigation. Moro sees Schultzman outside of the court because the people were not letting her go inside. Schultzman tells Moro that it is suspicious that he's talking to Callista. Moro storms off and leaves her. The forensics finds Brazzero's corpse and presents it to Moro and Schultzman. They find holes in his body, suspect that it is used to drain his blood, and a forensic discovers that Brazzero's blood matches the circulating substance that gives people flame powers. Moro and Schultzman start to interview people related to Brazzero, his previous employer, his partner, his previous psychologist, and others. Lily, the schoolgirl who has electric powers, is reading in a library. A guy approaches her and begins flirting with her. The guy gives Lily a phone number on a piece of paper. Moro begins to review their previous files about the recent crime scene and stumbles upon a critical detail. He updates his partner to look for the suspect shown in the photo evidence. They find the suspect in a hospital, and they begin interrogating him. They could not get anything from him until Schultzman tells him that he needs an antidote because he would explode. This is obviously a lie. Still, this lie got crucial information for the investigation. They discover a kid named Ismail who sells the substance outside of their school. On our antagonist's side, Nadja is looking for the missing stocks and asks why Ismail is not showing up. We can see here the guy flirting with Lily earlier as a part of Nadja's crew. Nadja tells his crew to look for Ismail and threatens that he might kill one of them if they fail to do the job. When most of his staff go out, Nadja asks him for updates about Lily, and he says it is going well. Nadja sniffs the substance and begins shooting large flames on his balcony like a lunatic. Moro and Schultzman find Ismail and chase him. They eventually find Ismail in a convenience store. Schultzman arrests him, and he begins heating up and tries to shoot her with flames, but Moro comes in with a fire extinguisher to stop him. They successfully catch Ismail. The police begin interrogating Ismail, but he cannot squeeze out any information from him. Moro is ordering his dinner, and he receives a call from Monte Carlo. He tells him that another superhero named Eclipso is nowhere to be found and has been missing for about a week now. Nearby the diner, a vast explosion put a halt to the conversation. Moro rushes to action, and people in the area are becoming blind. Schultzman is also in the scene, and Moro finds her being attacked. The perpetrators blinded her and left her to fall into the building. Moro runs to her and unexpectedly uses his power. He suspended Schultzman in midair, preventing her from falling to her death. We are shown flashbacks of Moro using his powers and working together with the Pack Royale. After the incident, Moro is drinking on a balcony and Schultzman joins him. She begins asking about the Pack Royale, and Moro happily talks about them. Going back to Ismail, he is now with Nadja and their crew. Nadja tells his crew to kill Ismail. Ismail tells them that Moro has superpowers, but this does not help him at all. Nadja still kills Ismail. Callista's students are now causing trouble. She begins looking for them and sees a vision of them dying. She goes to the scene, but she already finds the students dead. Her students inhaled the new blue substance and overdosed. After the news spread to the public, Lily's mother reported her missing daughter to the police station. Moro begins investigating. Nadja has Lily, and he is harvesting her blood. Moro discovers the note that was given to Lily in the library. He tries calling this number. Nadja's crew finds Moro and injects him with a sedative. Callista sees a vision of Schultzman being shot with many bullets, and she immediately follows her. Callista and Schultzman go on a stake and see Nadja's crew carrying unconscious Moro. Moro still has active powers in an unconscious state. The vehicle collapses. This is when the two ladies intervene and Nadja's crew shoots Moro. The team leaves Moro with a lot of bullet wounds and bullets float away from his body. They take Moro to Monte Carlo and provide medical care for him. They begin discussing Moro's history with the Pack Royale and the tragedy that resulted in the death of Gigaman, their teammate. Monte Carlo tells them that Gigaman is the father of Lily. They discover that the number from Lily's apartment matches a psychologist who specializes in patients with superpowers, the same psychiatrist that is interrogated in Brazzero's case. Monte Carlo begins investigating and he pretends to be a patient. Then he wiretaps the psychiatrist's office. They stumble upon one conversation of the psychiatrist talking about Lily being in danger. The shrink talks to Nadja over the phone and asks him to let go of Lily because she's just a kid. Nadja refuses and continues to harvest Lily's blood. The psychiatrist goes to his laboratory, and Callista discovers this laboratory by following her. The shrink is still convincing Nadja to let go of Lily, and this angers Nadja. Nadja grabs a blue substance, sniffs it, and begins threatening Lily. The psychiatrist informs Nadja that he should keep her alive, and his care is not enough to keep Lily alive. The psychiatrist tells the police about Nadja and asks for their help. The blue substance is now circulating in public and is causing a lot of trouble. The two policemen die from the attack of these people with drug-induced superpowers. Moro is still in bad shape but continues to heal with the help of his powers. Schultzman, Callista, and Monte Carlo ambush Nadja's hideout, and they face Nadja's crude drug induced with the blue substance. Nadja tries to run away with Lily, but Moro is carrying large debris. Nadja grabs another blue stick and starts to attack Moro. The police arrive at the scene to get most of Nadja's crew. Moro is blocking Nadja's attack with shield-like debris. Eventually, Nadja becomes exhausted and Moro swiftly throws the shield to Nadja. He begins beating Nadja while Schultzman is walking away with Lily. Nadja angrily stands up, screaming for Lily. He sniffs more of the blue substance and tries to attack Lily. Moro sees this and quickly rushes to Nadja and lifts Nadja high up in the air. Nadja is filled with the blue substance and looks really powerful, but he cannot control it. Nadja explodes as Moro holds him with a choke on his neck. This left the crew watching on the ground, worried with Moro. Moro survived the explosion and is now in the news. Moro is still not introducing himself to the public and chooses to keep his identity hidden. No one knows why. Still, the incident sparks a massive interest in the public eyes, and the public calls him his superhero and names him Titan. Moro continues to live his life, not revealing his identity to the public, and takes care of Lily as she heals. Schultzman now works as a liaison officer to the Pack Royal. Schultzman gives a mask to Moro, suggesting that he should continue being a superhero. He kisses her, and the mask falls. Moro gets the falling mask and wears it, and that is how he became a superhero. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your fun for today.